What would you do if the people meant to protect your community turned your lifeline into a weapon? In the small town of Willow Creek, where the air carried the scent of pine and the promise of quiet days, Elena Martinez learned the cost of trust. Her story began with a well, her family's well, dug by her grandfather's hands, a symbol of independence in a town increasingly tethered to the whims of a powerful homeowners association. That well, once a source of pride, became the heart of a battle that would unravel secrets, shatter alliances, and leave a town frozen in regret. Elena's home sat on the edge of Willow Creek, a modest ranch house with a sprawling backyard where her kids, Mia and Lucas, chased fireflies on summer nights. The well, tucked behind a willow tree, had sustained her family for decades. It was more than water. It was heritage, a quiet defiance against the HOA's push to centralize the town's water supply under their control. The HOA, led by the polished and unrelenting Vivian Caldwell, had been tightening its grip for years, dictating everything from lawn heights to paint colors. But their latest a proposed deal to sell the town's water rights to a private corporation was a step too far. Vivian's campaign was slick, her smile practiced. At town meetings, she painted a picture of progress. New infrastructure, lower costs, a modernized Willow Creek. But Elena, a paralegal with a knack for reading fine print, saw through the gloss. The deal would hand over control of the town's aquifer to a corporation notorious for price gouging and neglect. Elena's well, one of the few independent sources left, became a problem for Vivian. It was a symbol of resistance, a crack in her vision of total control. The trouble started subtly. Notices arrived, claiming Elena's well violated new HOA regulations. Fines piled up, each one steeper than the last. Then came the inspectors, poking around her property, citing vague bylaws. Elena fought back, filing appeals and rallying neighbors, but the HOA's influence ran deep. Most residents, worn down by years of compliance, stayed silent. Still, Elena persisted, her voice steady at meetings, her research meticulous. She uncovered emails between Vivian and the corporation, hinting at kickbacks. She shared them with the town, expecting outrage. Instead, she got shrugs. People were tired, scared, or just apathetic. One night, everything changed. Elena woke to the sound of trucks rumbling outside her home. Flashlights cut through the darkness, and voices barked orders. She ran to the backyard, heart pounding, and saw men in work vests pouring cement into her well. The gray sludge swallowed the clear water, hardening her family's legacy into a useless slab. Mia and Lucas watched from the porch, their faces pale. Elena's screams did nothing. The men were gone by dawn, leaving a note signed by Vivian. For the good of the community. Rage burned through Elena, but she didn't break. She couldn't. Her kids needed her, and the town needed someone to stand up. She spent days in her cramped home office, poring over legal texts, her eyes red from sleepless nights. The HOA had crossed a line, but they'd also made a mistake. Destroying her well wasn't just an act of control, it was vandalism, a violation of property rights. Elena found a precedent in an old state law, one the HOA had overlooked. She drafted a lawsuit, her hands shaking as she typed, knowing this was her only shot. Enter Marcus Tate, a wild card in Willow Creek's quiet drama. Marcus was a drifter who'd settled in town a year earlier, a former surveyor with a weathered face and a past he didn't talk about. He'd kept to himself, living in a trailer on the town's outskirts, but Elena's fight caught his attention. At a coffee shop, where Elena was nursing a cold latte and her dwindling hope, Marcus slid into the booth across from her. "I know wells," he said, his voice low, "and I know what they're hiding." He revealed a twist that turned Elena's fight upside down. The HOA's water deal wasn't just about profit. The corporation planned to drain the aquifer to supply a nearby city, leaving Willow Creek dry in a decade. Marcus had maps, old surveys, proof the HOA knew and didn't care. Elena's lawsuit grew sharper with Marcus's evidence. She filed it against the HOA and the corporation, alleging not just property damage but a conspiracy to defraud the town. The courtroom was small, the air thick with tension. Vivian sat across from Elena, her composure cracking as Elena presented the surveys, the emails, the cement-filled well. The judge, a no-nonsense woman from out of town, listened intently. Elena's neighbors, once silent, filled the seats, their faces a mix of guilt and awe. Marcus testified, his gravelly voice laying bare the corporation's plans. The room buzzed with whispers. The twist came when Vivian took the stand. She didn't deny the cement or the deal. Instead, she turned the knife, accusing Elena of endangering the town by clinging to her outdated well. "She's selfish," Vivian said, her eyes cold. "Her defiance threatens our future." For a moment, doubt flickered in the crowd. Had Elena been wrong? Was her fight just pride? But then Marcus stood again, unprompted, and dropped a bombshell. He'd worked for the corporation years ago, seen them ruin towns like Willow Creek. He'd come here to escape his guilt, but Elena's courage pulled him back. His words hit like a wave, shifting the room's mood. The judge's gavel fell. The water deal was frozen, the HOA fined, and Vivian's reign dismantled. Elena won, but victory tasted bitter. The town was safe for now, but the well was gone. Her kids would never draw water from it, never hear the stories of their great-grandfather's hands shaping their home. Neighbors apologized, some tearfully, but Elena felt the weight of their earlier silence. Marcus vanished as quietly as he'd appeared, leaving only a note. "You did what I couldn't." Willow Creek moved on, the HOA humbled, the corporation gone. But Elena stood by the cemented well, her heart heavy. She'd saved the town's water, but her own was lost forever. The cost of standing up was a wound that wouldn't heal. Nd.